Hello guys, so welcome to this presentation where I will be talking about this platform Lex4ure odds and what it's all about. Alright, so let's start with this reasonable scenario. Take for example, you are John and you have 500 naira in your wallet. Then you have a choice to gamble this 500 naira in order to win 2000 naira. And the decision, what you just need to do is just for you to pick up a ball and throw the ball till it touches the pole of this post. Now, in this scenario, you just have to try it once. Normally, there are like, let's say, 3 possible tries for you to attempt, but because you want to use 500 to get 2000 or to 5 or whatever, um, you are given only a single trial to make for you to get this done. And if you fail it, you are going to they will collect the 500 from you. Okay, so you have only one try to make. Either you are successful with this try and get your 2000, or the 500 naira that is with you would be gone. So that is one case scenario. What about this case scenario? This other girl, she has the same 500 naira in her wallet, and she also wants to give this a try. But they told her that if you want to try for 2 times, 2 attempts, you are going to earn 900. So that means in this her own case, she's betting the same 500, but she will have 2 times to try it. So even if she tried the first one, it doesn't work well, she will have to, she will position herself well for the second one to understand how she failed the first one and know how to better perform in the second one. Though the return seems lower, 900. So if you are mandated to be either of these two persons, mind you, it could be more, the amount could be more. I'm just using 500 naira as a case study. It could be like 5,000, 10,000. Just imagine something like this kind of case scenario. All right. So imagine, would you choose to be this first guy using a single try out of 3 possible tries just to get 2000, or you will be like this guy using the same 500, rather 2 tries and getting 900? So I think I've already done this survey anyways, and from the survey, 90% said they would prefer to be the girl. They would prefer this chance because they have 2 attempts to try again, regardless of the capital, because they can as well manage the 900 and even use it again, or use part of the profit to bet again. Unlike risking your total full capital for just a single trial chance. So which means the person placing the bet for you has 2 possible odds of beating you in this 1 to 3 trials. But for these 2 to 3 trials, the person has only one chance to beat you out of 3 chance, which means you are more of an advantage in this case of precious. Okay, so now let's go to how the normal traditional betting style works. Now this is a guy, he has 5,000 naira, right? And he's trying to, they gave him 3 spots for him to hit. So either he hits this pole, or this pole. He just had to pick a single pole to hit. All right. So having a single pole to hit out of this 3 pole, you have to choose one, only one. Then if you are choosing this pole, your odd is 2.25. What we mean by odd is whereby your capital, that is 5,000 times multiplied by 2.25. So 5,000 multiplied by 2.25 will give you total gross profit of 11,215 naira. So that's what is going to earn if it can hit this pole once. Then let's say you have another chance. So for this other chance here, the odd here is 3.5, whereby that is 5,000 times 3.5, which means is going to get 17,500 rather. Then he has a third chance, 2.65 odd, that is 5,000 times 2.65, which is 13,215 naira. So he only has one chance to hit it. And by the way, in this particular case scenario now, it's kind of like different because let's take for example in this scenario, it's not just about hitting the ball, but more about predicting if there is an hole. Let's say this is the aspect of you scoring in within this hole, and we have three flags where we have three holes. So let's say, for example, it is only one hole that is open, and him, John, doesn't know which particular pole has the opened hole that the ball can enter into. So you just have to try one attempt. Either he tries this first one, or he tries the second one, or he tries this third one. But the fact remains that there's only one hole that is open for him to hit. So you have to just pick only one alone. And if he fails it, that means you have other. If peradventure he kicks it to the odd of 2.25, and it happens that the hole is not there, that means he has lost, because probably the hole would have been in between 3.5 or 2.65. You understand? So this is how traditional betting works. So you can take this as, for example, a win, draw, or loss kind of odds. Or by the way, it could not even necessarily be a win, draw kind of setting. You could do something like you bet win, then another part you bet something like over something, then another part you can bet something like you know more like maybe first to score or how many corners or something like that, like three different odds. It's not just only about a win, draw, lose kind of odd. You just know that you have a possibility of betting three odds in that single match. You just have to be strategic of how to set the odds well to your favor, whereby even if any of them lose, or even if one of them should win, then you will know that yes, you are still protected. That is what our platform is trying to solve for you. All right. So in this case, then it depends on you if you still prefer being the normal traditional sports better, whereby you've cried a lot like these guys here. If you enjoy hot tears, then no wala, you can just continue in that trend. But if you want a kind of like a structured betting whereby even though your return might be lower in a way, but you know that you are surely seeing a profit which can be accumulated through consistency and repetition. You can do that same thing like 5 different times repeatedly in a single day that can fetch you a total accumulated profit. You understand? You can go in all in and being risked. So it depends on how you want to be like, or you want to be like Popo that is calculative, then smiling later on, or this guy. So in some way, we are trying to convert the whole idea of betting into more like trading, whereby it's more of logic and probability and mathematics, not just gamble of guess game or waiting for overnight for success. That's not the goal of this platform. So the tagline is converting betting to trading. So now let's go to the Lex's platform to see more details about its feature next. Now this is how the home page of the platform looks like. So you just need to click on register and put in your data. So let's just do some tests. So I'll just put in username as test and email, then I put in the password. You can also view it, hide it. Let's put the password like this, test123. So test1234. All right, so let's register. You can see, so I am registered and logged in already automatically. So it will take you to this dashboard interface where you can top up your balance, you can edit your profile, you can withdraw, you can see your balance here, and you have your referral link here. You just need to click on this and to copy. All right, so just a click, you have copied the referral link and you can refer it to your friend. So this will count how many referrals you have, right? Because as time goes on, we'll be doing some referrals bonanza or some kind of discounts for people who refer others. You understand? So it's going to happen surely. So that's the advantage for this. Then you need to decide whether you want to enter the bet mode or the exchange mode. Currently, we have not integrated a bet exchange mode yet. All right, so the only feature that is inactive in this beta launch is the bet mode only. So this is what is going to work for you. If you click on this, nothing is going to happen here. So now, if I click on this enter bet mode, look at what it's what for me, a modal pop-up which said I need to subscribe first. So either I decide to use a daily subscription, or if I want to do it as weekly, or I want to do it as monthly, it's totally up to you. Then you just need to click subscribe. So right now I don't have any money or anything, so none of this would work. All right, so I need to first of all have money in this my balance. So for this beta testing, don't worry, you are not, like I said, you won't be dropping any money for this. All right, so there's a test deployment we did for this. So you just come to this place, click on top up balance. You can put any amount you like. You can even put 1 million if you like. All right. So I just put in an amount here. Then I'll click on proceed to top up. Then cover integrated space stack as the payment platform for this. So for this, we are testing. That's just what we are doing here. So just click on the sources. You don't need to put any card or any details. You're not doing any transfer. Just click on sources, assuming that everything goes well in the real sense. Then you click on pay. So you can see wallet credited. So you can see your balance has been top up to 5,000, 50,000. All right. So this is what you are going to see eventually when you start testing it. All right. So if I say I want to increase it more, let me want to add extra 8,000 extra. You can just do it, your choice success, click on success and then remain successful. So you can see wallet credited, that's increased to 51,000. So from this, I can come here. By the way, don't bother withdrawing because this picture is disabled. You can't you can't withdraw money that you don't earn. So even if you come here to put maybe 3,000 or whatever, I can say it's blocked. You can't withdraw. So for now, there's nothing like withdrawal. All right. So you can use this feature for free, and you're using some kind of like free money to access these features for now. Okay. So also you can edit your stuff here. That's when the time comes in when you can put your bank details and all of that when you want to withdraw, when that time comes in, and whereby but for that this bet exchange will have to be launched for withdrawal to be even possible in the first place. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Also, so going forward, then enter bet mode. So once you click on this enter bet mode, then on your own you can choose the subscription that you want. If you want it to be a daily subscription, or to just subscribe for 24 hours only, or monthly. So let's say I prefer subscribing for monthly. I click on subscribe now. You can see subscribe successful. Then yeah, I have 31 days left to use this subscription. Then I can access all the features the platform has to my choosing. Okay, you can see you have the countdown as well, and you can see our balance. I click on this this profile icon at the top part to take you to the profile. You can see my balance has reduced to this. So once this expires, I can top up again with my remaining balance, and on and on and on. I can even add more money if I want, even though I'm not going to see the money. So it's up to you to just play around with these aspects. So that is how the platform would work. Just in case for the first time you're trying to access it and trying to test the beta version. So this is the process you are going to face. All right. So thank you. Here is the first example of one of the modes. So we are currently in the save mode right now. So in here you're going to put in your capital. Yeah, put in the low odd value. So let's say our odd is 1.50, while let's say the high odd is 4, like 40, maybe 40 point something or whatever. Then I am expecting the low odd to win, not the high odd. So that is my current expectations here. I'm expecting the low odd to win. But peradventure, even if the low odd tends like fails, like probably if it doesn't win, and then it's the high odd that wins, no problem. I still want to be able to retain my capital without any sort of loss at all. But if the low odd should win, I want a profit, like a gross profit. So calculate for me. So it's going to calculate this and bring the breakdown for you. So here's the breakdown. It tells you that since your total capital is 10,000 naira, that means you can stake 9,750 in the low odd. Also stake 250 naira in the high odd. These two stakes are coming from your 10,000. So the system tells you what to stake for each of the odds. Also, you don't need to, just for fast process, you can just click on this and it will copy. You can see copied. You can click on them, it will copy. That's if you want to, work with it very fast. Depend on the kind of games you are betting on. You understand? If it's a time sensitive game or you want to be quick at what you are doing, once you just tap the copy, tap the expected stake or whatever, it will copy the number or the value for you. Then you can paste it anywhere you want to paste it. Okay. So Yes, so this is the breakdown. So in this particular scenario now, we are betting 10,000. This is the low odd, this is the high odd, and we are expecting the low odd to win. That means I'm expecting this odd here to win, which means if truly it wins, I'm going to earn this profit. That means my total gross profit will be this. So that means I've converted 10,000 naira to 14,625 naira. Now, if peradventure the high odd now wins by miracle, that kind of stuff, no wahala, you are still saved. You didn't lose anything. So you can see loss if unexpected win zero, you have zero loss. So balance will still be your 10,000 still intact. So that is one of the advantage of the safe mode. If I am to choose that I want the high odd to win, which means I am guessing more like I am just hoping on miracle to happen. Okay, which probably you expect that the low odd will most likely win, but you just feel if there can be a miracle of a comeback for the high odd to win. Then once you click on calculate, it will tell you the value you are going to get. So this will be your profit, 123,333 naira and 6 kobo. So this will be your profit, and to tell you how much to stake. So for the one you are expecting to win, which is the high odd, that means stake 3,233.34. While for the low odd, the one you are not expecting to win, which is this low odd, stake this amount. Okay, so that is how it works. Then to let you understand your total gross profit if that your bet wins, and even if your bet doesn't win, you will gain back your capital. Obviously, this is not a loss. Even though it look like 999.999, approximate it, you are still holding your 10,000 regardless. You understand? So it's still working. The mathematics side of it is still logical and working very fine. So this is how the safe mode works. Now, in summary, safe mode is designed to protect your capital, which is like kind of like the big deal for this. So it's designed to protect your capital when betting on two outcomes, especially when one outcome feels more likely. Yeah, especially when you are sure. Probably the match would have gotten to like 60 minutes or 70 minutes, and you are sure that this team, even the score line don't show for you, say this team is surely winning. So you can just come here and stake this sure aspect that this 1.5 is sure. Most times, if you are very conversant with football, most times those odds can even be as great as even 100 or even 80. Imagine. So when you expect that low odd to win and you calculate, and mind you can see your profit, and mind you, we are using 10,000 for this. Then imagine, let's say we'll make it like 50,000. Let me add 5 to this. Then we calculate this. See the profits. So it all depends on your capital. Let me just put it that way. So your result is still based related to your capital. All right. So it depends on how you want the pace you want to take it. If it's small, small, you want to grow it small, small in a way. So it's totally up to you. So yeah, so so this is how it successfully works. So there are some cases whereby the system will tell you some errors, like it will give you some hints whereby, okay, no, don't try this, or this won't work, or something like that. It happens. Let me give you an instance now. Let's say um I decide to say I want to bet on low odds on 1.5, then high odd 30. Okay, so let me calculate. Now, see what it tells me. The odds gap is tight and therefore unprofitable. Increase the odds gap further to about 35 and above, which means it's trying to tell you that the gap between this low odd and your high odd is kind of like too low for it to give you any profits. So it's telling you that not to go into this kind of bets, because there's no way to really divide it in a way that you will be saved. Like your capital can be saved, and then maybe the other part you can get profit. So it's telling you that no, this won't work. And it's for you to then go back to the sports betting side and look for a better option that can work. So this is like a very good hint for you, whereby you won't see any results to give you this feedback. Once you see this feedback, then understand that the odd is not good. It suggests for you to look for a better odd to combine with that has at least 35 and above gap. That's when it will accept it. Okay. Now, Okay, so in summary now, when should you use safe mode? So safe mode is designed to protect your capital, we've said. So use it when you are highly confident in one outcome, but the other pays big, just in case of a miracle. So when you are very sure that this odd is winning this thing, probably you have been following through the game and you've seen that, okay, the minute that are left, or it's nothing to write home about, it's very certain that this team is surely going to win, then you take it. But then if eventually maybe one kind of miracle, all those times of Real Madrid comebacks or something, whereby shocking comebacks, then this can be a good way too, whereby you can get shocked, like that kind of thing. So you are betting with a fixed capital and want a controlled risk. Okay, now next one, you want to exploit large odds gap, which means all those bets that can have large odds gap, you want to make use of it and make money from them. Okay, while another aspect, you want to profit like this, you prefer low risk betting system because surely this is low risk, and that's why it can as well come with kind of like low profit margin, because you are being too secure in a way using this approach, whereby you prefer collecting your capital if it doesn't go your way, or you want to collect at least some profits or something from it once if it goes your way, that kind of thing. So yeah, you are tired of unexpected losses. So when your unexpected should lose, so whereby you are guaranteed of your capital still intact. So don't use safe mode when the gap is too small, less than 35, like I explained to you here. All right. And also, um, your stop loss is more than your capital. The system, okay, if your stop loss, like if you are going to lose in a way, so the system will avoid it. So that's when to throw those errors for you that we talk about, right? So this is the summary of everything. Use safe mode when you want to protect your capital, exploit high odd gap, and still earn if your expectation plays out, all while keeping your risk tightly managed. So that is just like the quick overview of this explanation. Thank you. Okay, so this is another bet mode, which I call the dual profit mode. So the dual profit mode, or what you can say like the both odds profit mode, is designed for smart bettors who want to guarantee profit no matter which outcomes win, either of the two outcomes that win, by balancing their stake across both odds in a strategic way. So let's see an example. Let's use again our usual 10K example. So let's say we have a low odd of say maybe 2.0 and we have an high odd of 5.0. Now, if we calculate this, you can see it guaranteed us a profit. Now let's see the details of that profit. So here's the details of the profit. So it's telling me that I should stake 6,500 in the low odd, which is the odd that has 2.0 odd. I should put there, stake there, 6,500 first, then stake it. Then I should stake again separately, 5.0 separately. That means I should put here 35 for the high odd separately. And mind you, these two total combined as the 10,000, which is your initial capital. So now this is or are the returns. So the profit for the low, peradventure if your low should win, this is your profit 3,000. Okay, that means your total gross profit is 13,000. But if the high should win, your profit is 7,500 and your total gross profit is 17,500, all from just this 10,000. So now you can see the aspect of this. Now let's increase this. Let's say I increase it to like 50,000. Calculate, like I said, it all depends. The returns will always depend on your capital inputs. So you can see the huge margin gap difference with this. So this is just an example. You can use the other. I can, if I say maybe the odd is 3, maybe the other one is let's say maybe 10. Then calculate. By the way, if you want to calculate, you can click calculate here, or you can click on your enter key. Either ways, it will calculate it for you. Okay, so for this case, as you can see, the odd here is greater. I think I need to adjust this circle a bit. Okay, so it's greater here. So I got about 141. That's if this high odds should win. All right. If this high odds should win, this would be the profit I'm going to get. But if this low odd should win, that's this low odd 3, this will be the profit I'm going to get. All right, so it's telling you also stake this for the low, stake this amount. Always, even the decimal, always input the decimal also when staking, so you will perfectly, the math will be perfectly evaluated for you. So stake this amount, just click on it, then paste, stake it for the high odd. So that is the summary of how this would work. So the errors you can get to see for this part. Now, you might be like, on your own, you can think about comparing this with the first one, which is the safe mode. If you remember the safe mode, that one requires a huge gap of like 35 and above gap. But now, if you notice this particular scenario, the gap is not huge. Even this kind of gap is working. You understand? So this is like a slim gap, and for this one, both sides are going to win. Like you're actually going to have the profits in both sides, not one-sided, and then your capital is secured one-sided as the safe mode. So you have to know when to use dual profits mode or when to use safe mode. It's totally up to you to think about it well for each of your bets. So let's analyze this. Okay, before we do that though, let's check also the possible errors that can happen when using this particular dual profit. So let's say, for example, I put in 1.8 as the low odd, then the high odd I put in, let's say 2. You can see it says calculation failed, overlap, no guaranteed profit for this outcome. So once you see this kind of thing, just go and look for another odd. Just know that it's not possible to profit from this kind of combination. All right. So keep that in mind. So now, in a situation where you have odds like this 1.5 and probably let's say 200 or something, you can see the error message here: odds too far apart, or use safe mode strategy, because obviously this is way better when using safe mode. All right, so use safe mode instead. So this is one other error you can get to see for this dual profit mode. So when the odd is unnecessarily too far apart, so you can see this kind of error. So which means it doesn't make sense to use this mode. Use another mode for this case. Okay, so let's just say a summary of it. So this is a summary of everything. You can also work on it or test it. So why should you use dual profit mode? So you use this mode when you have found two outcomes with decent odd gap, where the gap are not too far apart, decent gap. For example, just like what we tested here, we tested 2 to 5, and that's just a gap of 3. So you can use this mode for such kind of bets, right? You can use this mode if you want safe, low risk, and guaranteed profit from either side, either the low odd or the high odd. You want profit regardless. That's when you can use this one also. Okay, so you have a moderate capital and want predictable results as well. So you have spotted a bookmaker mispricing. Maybe you don't, this is just like Oshofi. You have seen something free and something you want to go grab before the bookmaker changed the odds to something else that won't profit you. So you don't care which odd wins, like I've said. In this case, you don't care who wins. Anybody that wins, whether the lower odd or the high odd, is not your business. You understand that either case, you should get a profit. That is the aspect of this, because you are not loyal to any team or any player. So avoid this mode if the odd is probably way too close, because this one now is way too close. So it won't accept this kind of scenario, or when it's way too far. So it won't accept this kind of scenario. So you've seen the error case, but this whereby to suggest you should probably use the safe mode instead. All right. So you are looking for high risk, high reward gambling. This mode is for smart betting, not thrill seeking. So in some way, you can use this mode when you want to earn risk free, take advantage of strategic odds gap, and ensure a profit no matter which outcome wins. All right. So it's the go-to mode for calculated, safe, and consistent earning. So that is the summary about this particular mode. I don't know what to think about it. So yeah. let's see what the other mode is all about as well. So this is another mode called the stop loss mode. Now, the stop loss mode is designed for users who want to bet confidently on one outcome while still protecting themselves from a massive loss if the unexpected happens. So it gives you a smart stake split that maximizes profits on your expected peak while capping your potential loss to a custom stop loss limit. You understand? So let me give you an example of what it means, because this particular stop loss is just kind of like a way of you boosting your chances of more profits in a way. Because let me give you an example. Let's say I'm making use of this safe mode, and in this safe mode I put in 10,000, then 10,000, then the low odd, let's say I put in 2, then the high odd I put in 4, and I expect the low odd to win. If I calculate this, it worked nice. Now what is the result? So that means I'm going to get this profit 9,500 if indeed my low odd should win. So that's the takeaway. But if the other opposite should win, that's the other odd that I don't want it to win, the unexpected odd, no wahala, my profit is still intact. That's what it means. But that's this for the safe mode. Right now, let's use this same odd combination for the stop loss mode to see a difference. So here my profit is this. Let's keep that in mind, 9,500. Now let's say I go to the stop loss. Let's say you are the type of person that you don't mind losing. Let me put it that way. Just that you don't mind losing, but at the same time you don't want your loss to be too great. Okay, so you don't mind losing, at the same time you don't want your loss to be too great, so you just want a minimal loss, you understand, whereby okay, you say that okay, it's okay, and you learn from the mistake, and then you have something to hold on to try again, you understand. So if you are that type of person, then this is for you. All right, so let's try the same combination. We have 10,000 here, then I put in the same 2, then the high odd I put in 4 here, and I'm expecting the low odd to win. Now in this part, it's letting you know the maximum stuff you can set for the stop loss here. So in that case, I don't want my stop, I don't want my loss to be 9,750. That's too much. That's too close to my capital. It doesn't make any sense. So let's say I want to reduce the loss to like at least 2,000. At least I won't die if I lose 2,000 from 10,000. At least, in as much as I'm guaranteed that if this low odd should win, my profit will be way greater. You understand? So now if I click on calculate, let's see. So seeing this experiment now, profits if expected wins, we have this as profits. I think the other one was 9,000, was it 9,500 or thereabouts? So probably let's say I reduce this to, let's just experiment to 1,000. Okay, so the point here is that the more loss you can bear, the higher your return. So if you say I can reduce this to 5,000, like I want my stop loss to be 5,000, whereby I am willing to lose 5,000 if my prediction fails me. All right, so in some way you are betting 10,000 naira, you are expecting the low odd to win, and currently the low odd is 2.0, and the high odd is 40 point whatever or something. And then you yourself, you are the type of person that you don't mind losing as well. So but in as much as, even if you want to lose, you don't want to lose all your entire 10,000. So let's say you want to lose 5,000 at least. That's if your plan doesn't work. So if you do this kind of setting, it will calculate this for you, then to tell you the things to stake. You stake this amount for this low odd which you are expecting to win. All right, pay attention to this thing, expected odd stake. So this, you are expecting the low odd. This is a drop down. You're expecting the low odd to win, which is this. So that means you have to put in 9,875 naira for that odd and bet it separately. Then copy this one and paste and say and bet another ticket for 125 naira for this high odd. So that's the guideline, and then this will be the total summary of the outcome that you are going to see from it. Okay, so your profit in this case now is this that you're going to get if indeed your low odd should win. And if it's a loss, let's say if the high odd should win, you're only losing 5,000, so you will get a total of 5,000 back given to you. While if your expected stuff should win, you are going to surely get the gross profits of 90,750. That is your capital plus the extra profits. So that's how this works. So now imagine increasing this, let's say maybe 50,000, then probably your limit is like half of it. Let me just say 20,000. So this is more risky in terms of losing. All right. So I just know that there are people who don't mind losing. So that's why this feature are usually for them. All right. So see the profit margin now for this case, 50,000, and you are very sure of one odd to win and the other one not to win. You would get a profit of this. That means your total gross profit will be 98,000 from your 50,000. But eventually, if you are to lose, you are only losing 25, which is what you only want to lose. That means you are only getting back in return 25. You understand, which is the loss. So that is how this works. So in some way, so this is just like a description of everything that we just did here in practical. So when should you use this? So use the stop loss mode when you strongly believe in one outcome, when you know that you are very sure that one outcome is most likely going to win, and you are also willing to take the risk. So you want to control the worst case scenario of that outcome. Okay. So instead of you on a norm now, probably you are the kind of person that you would have preferred putting the whole entire 10,000 for that low odd. That's how you might have been doing initially before this platform. You understand? You are that kind of person that you can put that full 10,000 for that particular odd. So instead of doing it that way, it suggests that why don't you try to look for a way whereby you can get at least, instead of losing all, if it doesn't go your way, instead of losing all, you can get at least half of that your capital back in a way. So that is the idea this is bringing for you. So you want to maximize expected profit while covering your risks. Okay, so you are betting on a favorite, but not too fully ignoring the underdog, just like the way Chelsea and PSG played. So you are betting on the favorite to win, but that underdog can shock you. You understand? You can now end up winning that match. So you are emotional. So you are the emotional type of person too, and financially risk aware, and you're the kind of person that like taking risks. Like you don't mind losing. You are the kind of person that takes risks. Then this is for you. So avoid this mode when you don't care about capital. Avoid this mode when you don't care about protecting your capital or minimizing loss, and also set your stop loss. That's too high. So just go through this. I'll also drop this document. All right. So this is how it plays out. So in some way, use stop loss mode when you are confident about your bet, but still want a smart backup plan in case of surprises. Protecting your capital while maximizing your profits. So it's a pro level risk management for bettors, not with emotions. All right. So this is just a quick summary about what this feature is all about. So let's go to the next one. Now this is another mode we have, which is the Dutch mode. Now, how does it work? So Dutch mode is ideal when you are trying to spread your risks across multiple possible outcomes while ensuring a guaranteed equal profits no matter which outcome wins. In some way, what it's trying to say is that, let's say for example you want to bet for two odds. So two odds. This is not even about low or high or whatever, just two odds, regardless of how it is, two odds. Now you want that if any of them should win, you want to see the same exact profit from either of them. You get that explanation? Now, another plus for this Dutch mode is that no, so far we'll be doing two odds only. So in this case now, you can also bet on more than two, multiple odds. You can bet on three different odds in this case, in this Dutch mode. So you can bet on three different odds, and for these three different odds, if either of the three should win, no, if one wins, the rest two loses. That's the fact. If we have odd A, odd B, odd C, and let's say only odd A wins, surely it means odd A, odd B, and C are going to lose, right? So even if they lose, it doesn't affect you. That's just the fact. So that's where this Dutch mode comes into play, and your outputs or your outcome, regardless of those three odds, would be the same exact result. The profits would stay the same regardless of which of them win. All right. So let's see a practical example. Let's start first with two odds, because if I were to use two odds, if you remember the two odds we can use the same kind of logic with this dual profits, but I'll show you some difference between them as well. So let's say I have a capital of 10,000. I'm deciding to use a moderate amount first. Then let's say my first odd, I have a odd that I saw that is 2.1. Then I need to add another odd. Then I have another odd that is 3.9. So I want to work on these two odds. So once we hit calculate for these two scenarios like this now, see what it tells you. It tells you that your stake, your total capital is 10,000, right? So it's telling you to stake 6,500 on the 2.1 odd. So just click on this and paste it in that place. Then it's telling you to stake 3.5 for the 3.9 odd. You place two odds there. So it's telling you the amount to stake for each of them. Separate stake, please. Separate stake. All right. So once you stake on this one, book it. Then create a new bet. Book this one with this amount. Separate two tickets in a way. All right. So once you do that, your expected gross profit would be 13,650, which means your profit there is 3,000, regardless of who wins between these two odds. So that means your 10,000, you have been able to add an extra 3,650 naira from with it. Now, you might say that, okay, I can do the same thing using the dual profit mode, right? Let's try this same odd approach now, 2.1 and 2.9. Let's say I can do it also in dual profit mode. So how can I know when to use Dutch mode or dual profit mode? That kind of question. So let's say I put 10,000 here. I use the same exact odd. Since as much as I'm still working with two odd cases here. So, and this one is strictly two odds. So no problem. Let's try. So I'll say 2.1 here. The I odd I'll put here 3.9. Enter. So remember, for the dual profits, both sides are going to profit. That's the rule for dual profits. So either outcome, both sides are going to profit. So let's assume if the low side profits, this is your profit. That's if the low side wins, rather, this is your profit, 2,800. If the high side, high odd part should win, you have this. So now you'll be like, now let's compare this with this. Now, what this one is giving is that it's giving you a guaranteed profit that if any of them should win, you are still going to get 3,600. But in this dual profit mode, if the low odd should win, you can see this is lesser than 3,600, which the other dual profit mode gave. So that's if the low side should win. Whereas for dual profit low, even dual profit mode, even if the low side should win, you are still earning 3,600 regardless. So this is only the little downside to say, okay, I think I will prefer dot mode for this case. But this one still comes with its own plus. The dual profit still comes with its own, because saying that if the high odd should win instead, you can see this is getting a whopping 5,000 profits. So both of them have their use cases. So if you want some certainty, certainty of if either way you want this particular amount, then you are fine to go with using this dual profit. But if you want, you don't mind taking this low profit, because miracle can happen that you can take this one. It's up to you. So everything is totally up to you. Just for you to know when to use which, or your personal tastes or what you are trying to achieve. And mind you, this is just a bet of like this is a 10,000 naira bet. So imagine if I put stake like higher, 50,000. Imagine how the outcomes would be like separately. So the expected payout is guaranteed, which is this is your expected profit regardless of who wins in those two places. All right. So this is your gross profit here, 60,900. So that's just how it works. Now, the thing about Dutch mode now, it has an extra bonus that other modes doesn't have, which means it can take more than just two odds. So I can put a third odd here. You can see now. So this is like the big player in terms of this Dutch mode compared to all the rest modes. So I can put a third odd. Then I can remove. Minimum you must have two. So if you are putting the other one, then you can probably want to remove one of them that you don't want, whatever, you can easily remove it. All right, so I make sure this platform, the UX is very, very good experience, so you can have good user experience. All right, so let's test this one now. So let's say I have three different odds now. I have one odd is 2.0, another odd is, let's say, 3.5. Then I put another odd, so let's say another odd is like 5.0. Three different odds I'm betting on right now. And my expectation here is that in these three different, I want Lex4ure odds to give me the amount I should stake for each of them separately. So it will give me the amount I'm staking for each of them separately. And at the same time, it should tell me the profit I'm going to make if any of them win. So even if it's this one that is win, the profit must be the same thing. That even if it's this other one that wins, all the profits will be the same thing, regardless of which of them is winning. All right. So that's one thing about this. So if I hit on enter key now, you can use your enter key or you can click on this calculate button, your choice. So I just hit the enter key. So now remember, okay, for this case, we're using 50,000 here. So your expected payout would be this. So your guaranteed profits for this, regardless of who wins in those three areas, this is your guaranteed profit, 700 naira. Okay, so imagine repeating this kind of scenario for like 5 times in a day or 10 times. It depends on your work rate and how you really calm down to evaluate each game that you're trying to bet. So this is just like a single bet. Imagine doing it for 5, 10 bets in a day. That's close to 10,000 already. That's why I said 5,000 minimum per day is surely possible for anybody. All right. So that is how it can be repeated, like just like making sales little. So your first customer, you got this from your first customer, then you do another trade, you get another trade for your second customer, stuff like that. So we're trying to convert betting to trading in a way. All right. So you can see the beauty of that's just like the extra beauty this touch mode gives in this scenario. All right. So yeah, let's see. So this is just an outline of everything, and also it will surely give you some errors. If eventually there is maybe one or two errors or whatever, it will let you know when odds are not profitable. You will get to see it when you try to test it. So it's like whenever you see those kind of alerts, just know that those odds are not profitable. You have to look for another good combination that will be profitable for you. So when to use this? So I use a table to explain the list of when you can decide that you want to use the touch mode. All right, so multiple possible winners, you want equal profits. And by the way, if it's possible that two teams can win, so it depends on what you are supporting on. It goes beyond football. It depends on the kind of sport. If you know that two people can win in that same stuff, so in that case, sometimes you can bet something like, let me give you an example now. Let's say you bet that a team would win. At the same time, you bet that you bet that it's going to be under theory or something. Then the team wins, and then it was also under theory. That means you are getting the same equal profit in those two sides. So imagine that, remember that 3,600 we talked about, that means you are getting 3,600 twice. That's a total of what, 7,200, I think. So see how this Dutch mode is very, very interesting, and that's more feature. But I was thinking about making this a premium version, a premium plan for this particular Dutch mode, but for now we're all testing, so let's leave it this way. Everybody should access it. So that's like an extra bonanza to this Dutch mode. So you are not 100% sure who will win, then you can just make use of it. You want equal profit no matter the results, you can make use of it. You have decent capital to spread out, you can make use of it. All odds are above 1.0 and adds up probability. So you want to avoid relying on just one outcome. That big player which I just explained just now. So you can avoid it, just check all of this stuff to avoid it. When you have only 100 naira, that's way too small, obviously. So worst case scenario, so this is just like an example of how it works. So this is just the summary of the Dutch mode in general. All right, so now we have safe mode, dual mode, stop loss, Dutch mode. Okay, so now there could be times whereby you want to cash out in a game. All right. Majorly, I won't advise you to do cash out at all when dealing with most of these modes. All right. So this cash out helper feature is helping you in terms of probably if you are just the type that still wants to take risks. I want to bet for only a single game. All right. So you want to bet for only a single game alone, which surely this platform doesn't support because you are taking a lot of risks by doing that. So I said you are having one chances out of three odds to win. You understand? So this is just like an helper for you. All right. So let's say for example, let's say you give it an information of what you are staking. Let's say you stake 10,000 or maybe a odd that started initially the odd was, let's say the odd was like 3.5. That's the team you are open to win. Then it was 3.5 before the match started. Then as the match progresses, the odds drop to like 1.8. All right. Now you are now giving a cash out offer. Let's say, for example, Sportingbet is not telling you that you can cash out now because it seems as if your odds is going to win, but but anything can still happen, that kind of thing. So it tell you that okay, you can cash out probably. Sportingbet is telling you that you can cash out for now. Let's say 13,000. That's what Sportingbet is offering you. So now you now state for it what is the current minutes of that match. Let's say the minutes they are still playing 28 minutes, like it's still around the first half. All right. Now to ask you next one, what is your confidence in that team that you think is going to win? So put your confidence level, drag the slider, probably I'm 80% confident, that kind of thing. Then put your current score, put the current score you are seeing in the live match. So probably let's say the score is 2-1. That's the team to score, the team is winning. Okay, the team to score 2, and then the opponent one is 1. So your team is 1. So it's telling you that you should hold, you should not cash out, that you should not listen to the cash out signal or the Sportingbet signal. That's looking at the whole statistics and the whole conditions you've stated here, because the results that will come out here will be solely based on all your outputs you have in here. That's one thing to keep in mind. For example, now if I'm to change this output, let's say I'm to put here as let's say okay, this is 2 and that's fine. Let's say I'm less confident. If I reduce it now to like, you can see, you notice the change that just happened here now. So I am 23% confident, which means it's telling that it is neutral, that it's fine for you to cash out too, and also, well, it's fine for you not to cash out. It's totally up to you. I can't really decide well in this kind of scenario because you are also not confident about it, which means you are in a lock self for you to be able to see cash out. So to tell you that it's neutral, so it's for you to decide if you want to, cash out. And this is just like a meter reading the percentage of confidence meter for the system. So this is the system confidence meter. The system feels 48%, which means it's not sure if it should tell you that you should hold it or probably you should just accept it and run away. That kind of thing. So that's what the meter is telling you. But if you are, that's why I say it will follow up with whatever stuff you are giving it. So if you are very sure, you can see the changes in the meter. It's following up with what you think about the game and you're giving it a lot of information. You understand? Also, there are cases it will tell you to cash out. All right. So let's see if we can get to work that out. Let's say maybe the cash out is let's say the cash out, because since your initial odd is 3.5, which means you are expecting to get 10,000 times 3.5, right? That's 35,000. So let's say your cash out is like let's say 32,000, or probably let's say something like 25,000. Then the match, let's say the match still is just starting, like 10 minutes. They've already scored like 2-1 in a way. Then your confidence for the team, let's say you are not really confident, like saying at luck, that kind of stuff. And then the current odd that dropped, let's say probably the odds is reduced to like, let's say 2.8 or probably 3. I'm trying to look for a scenario whereby this would work. There are scenarios it would work anyways. So right now, we're still telling you that it's not sure. There is a scenario whereby it will tell you to cash out immediately. I'm trying to play around this to see when this scenario would happen, because I've seen it before. Okay, good. It has worked. So I decided to change this to 30. So you can see it's telling you that in this kind of case scenario, it's best to just cash out and just accept this offer. than waiting, because the match can shock you because of these parameters you've given it. You understand? So this is just like a cash out decision helper. You can decide to use it, you can decide to use your own thinking. It's up to you. All right. Or you can compare your thinking with what the system will give you, its own thinking, to know if both of you, resonate well, to make a better decision whether to cash out or not. So like I said, this using this is primarily when you are betting for a single game, not spreading anything for two odds. All right, because whenever you're using all these modes, it's best to leave it the way it is so that the calculation can work effectively for them. All right, so that is just one use case about this cash out helper um, feature. Thank you. Now we have one more feature called the simulator. I believe you would have seen it around here. Right, so if you click on that, it takes you to this page. So this is the risk reward simulator. It's just a way of also helping you to decide which strategy you should use. Probably you might be confused, or probably three different modes are working for you, all right, for your odds, but you are confused of which of them to use. So this simulator can help you decide that and to suggest for you which to use. So always watch this section. So probably if you put in some stuffs that doesn't tally with any strategy mode that is good for be as good enough for it, it won't give you any information. But if you put some combinations that make sense, then it will suggest for you which modes that suits which. You understand? All right. So currently entering into here, we already have some default inputs here, and right now it's already suggesting that for this input it will work best if you use the Dutch mode. So you can then try the Dutch mode and then try inputting the stuffs you imputed here to see how it's going to play. Probably let's just try this. Let's copy this. Let's copy this and paste it here. While we have here 1.48. Then we have here 3.33. So add one more outcome, enter. So calculate. So this is the outcome for this aspect. So this is your guaranteed profit or your expected gross profit. All right. So this risk reward simulator is just something that will just tell you advice depending on what you are putting in here. So let's say, for example, I reduce my confidence in this odd that I picked. Probably is not too strong. So it's more like I'm not too sure of it. Then also, I'm not willing to want to lose too much anyway. So I don't, in short, I don't want anything like loss. So let me just take this to the bare minimum. So it's still suggesting that no problem, Dutch mode is still best for it. Okay, so let's try another kind of approach now. If I stretch this, that my confidence level is very high, I'm very sure of it. You can see now, it suggests that you should use dual profit mode, which is like both odds will profit. Remember that profit mode called dual profit mode, which is this one. So it's suggesting that in that case, you should use this one because it says that your confidence level is very high. Look at the information here. Your confidence is 63%. All right. So, and you put in the two odds you want to, take the risks on with no loss at all because you don't want any loss related. So it gives you what you can use that will make sense for you. Right, so this is a real-time analysis, giving you real-time. Even the chat too is also happening real-time, as you might have noticed. So if I stretch this confidence level further, it's telling me that okay, probably for this case you can try the safe mode because of your confidence level is even higher. That's 83%. You understand? So there are different case scenarios. You can test several amounts, test several odds. So this is just limited to two odds too. Okay. So in this case, it's limited to what to test your confidence level and if you are willing to take a loss and the likes. You understand? So that you're willing to take a loss, let's say I'm willing to take a loss, which are just stretched. You can see, say I should use the stop loss mode instead. That's the suggestion here. I should use stop loss mode given this data. All right. So that is what this feature is helping out in this case. So that's it here in summary of all the modes and all the features this platform has as of now in this beta release version.